actually in Providence, Rhode Island. We are going to do our, I guess you could call it kind of like our Valentine episode, because it is a love story of sorts. Today we're going to talk about Edgar Allan Poe and his girlfriend, Helen Whitman, his fiance. So this place that we're at today is really cool. This is Prospect Terrace Park. So years ago, it used to be a dump, basically, and then they petitioned the city so they could have it turned into a park. Well, our founding father, Roger Williams, this guy over here, used to live a couple of streets up, and they had to put in, they needed to put in like a roadway, so they had to dig up his body. So they're like, okay, so where are we going to put our founding father? Well, guess what? He's here. He's underneath there. So this is actually, it's a graveyard, really. So it's an interesting park. We'll show you guys some of the view. Oh my God, the view of Providence from here is,
I was looking at it.
Oh my God,
Crazy.
it's phenomenal. And you can see the Biltmore. The Biltmore we love so much.
State House.
The State House. So it's pretty cool. We'll pan around for you guys so you can see all of that. But Edgar Allan Poe, he was quite the guy. He was a famous poet and a short story writer. He was actually born in Boston, and his parents were both actors. But poor guy, this is so sad. He had a brother. He had an older brother. But when he was a year old, his dad left them, and then a year later, his mom dies. So that's childhood trauma right there. So he and his brother were sent to live with these people in Virginia, the Allens, and that's actually how he got his middle name, Edgar Allan Poe. They gave him the middle name. They never officially adopted him. So he had a somewhat of a tumultuous relationship with his foster dad. And he floundered, he always floundered. He tried to finish college and he never did. He tried to join West Point Academy and that didn't work out. The poor guy, he really just wanted to be a writer. And he eventually did end up just writing, and that was it. That's how he made his living. He didn't make a huge living, but he's famous now. Look what he left us, yeah.
So Deb, he ends up going back to Baltimore, right? And he marries his 13-year-old cousin, Virginia Clem. They're married a little over 10 years. She ends up dying of tuberculosis.
Wow.
Yeah, which really made him increasingly more unstable. He picks up on the drinking.
Right.
Yeah, very sad.
So Edgar actually ended up coming back here to Providence, and he meets Helen Whitman. She was a poet. Her work was not as dark as his. A lot of his work was very much on the dark side. Hers was not. It was all very light and flowery. But she was a very unusual woman, because on Sundays she liked to have seances at her house to contact the dead.
Ooh, nice.
So she was into the old time ghost hunting, right? But
Victorian
she was into
era.
and she was into the macabre as well. So you can imagine. I think they were a great couple. They just mixed. She liked the macabre, and along comes this, handsome little poet, and he woos her, and it was quite the relationship, He did fall in love with her, and he did propose to her, but it just didn't work out because, unfortunately, his drinking became so bad. And her mom was not fond of Poe. She was not fond of him, and she really didn't want this relationship
I wouldn't want my daughter
to
marrying
continue. Exactly. So that did not work out for poor Poe. As much as he loved his Sarah, it just did not work out.
Yeah.
So he ended up going back to Baltimore, and he was found delirious in the streets, and I suppose that they took him to the hospital. And unfortunately, his death certificate and all the medical records are missing. So his death is a mystery to this day. No one knows what he died of.
Probably alcoholism.
Probably alcoholism is what I'm betting for the most part. But, poor Paul.
Yeah, that's not a good death.
He had a rough time. And somebody had said his last words were, "Oh God, my poor soul." I know, my heart goes out to him. It really does.
So then this guy, Rufus Griswold, he writes this biography on Poe, but the thing was packed with lies, really.
They just didn't like each other.
No, he was like an adversary of Poe's.
Yeah.
I mean, even Providence's own H.P. Lovecraft, right? was very inspired by Poe. And then you got Alfred Hitchcock, huge fan, and he really inspired Alfred Hitchcock's short horror films too.
Right. So look what he left us. You know, a legacy, which is amazing. He's so famous. And actually, H.P. Lovecraft's house is right around the corner from here. So if we have time, we can take them over there.
Yeah, that would be cool.
And that'll be fun to see. That's actually right around the corner, so we can go and visit that as well. So we have a few stops that we're going to make today. I used to do the Providence Ghost Tour, so I talked about Poe on every single one of my tours, and I would read some of his poetry, and we would go to the Athenaeum, which was the spot where he used to go and sit in the alcoves with Sarah and discuss their works and their poetry. It's just the whole thing's so romantic, but we are going to go over to the Athenaeum because what happened to me was I had the kids, we were walking all around. I was showing them all my spots where I used to stop. And, you know, when you talk to Spirit 24/7, they connect with you. And there's things they want you to know. So we went inside of the Athenaeum. It was actually, I think, the second time that I had been in there. So I ended up going in, and there's like an upstairs, you go up this rickety stairway, and I found this alcove that fascinated me, and in the alcove you could see the light flickering. So I was drawn to it, and I went in, and guess what was there? His books.
Oh, yeah.
And I looked, and I just randomly pulled this one book off of the shelf, and I was just rifling through it. It happened to be a book of letters that he had written to his different friends of his and family. And somehow I opened up to this page, to this one letter, and he was talking about, he's like, you know, I can't understand what's wrong with me. Everything's going well. I just feel so melancholy. All of a sudden it clicked in my head. He had depression. He was self-medicating. That's why he drank. He wanted me to know that. That's what he wanted me to know. I really, truly love Sarah. I just couldn't do it. I was a sick man. You know, and it all goes back to that childhood trauma as well. You know, like I almost want to cry. It's so sad. But I just found it. I know he sent me there.
Yeah, you were
I know
drawn
he
to it,
did
for sure.
because I spent all that time with him. So, and we also, like what I do when we're going to do these investigations, so I commune with them for 2-3 weeks before. I keep talking to them, and I keep telling them I'm going to have this little box and you can talk to me through it. And I kept saying that to him, and I know this probably wasn't him, but it was funny because I was driving home from work, and I talked to Walter on my way home from work, and I took my phone, I put it on speaker, and I put it up in the thing, and all of a sudden he goes, "What was that guy's voice?" And I said, I didn't hear it. He goes, "Deb, it was really loud." I said, "Walter, it's Edgar Allan Poe." I said, "I told him it was going to be like a phone thing. It's got to be him coming through, right?" He's like, "No, Deb, I don't think it was him."
No, but I am a firm believer, though. If you talk to the spirits, they will come through, guys.
Exactly. You really need to commune with them. So I always do that before we do an episode. So I've been talking to Poe a lot. So we're going to go to the Athenaeum, and we're going to go up into that little alcove, and I'm going to see if I can find that book again, guys. I don't know if I can. So another kind of little romantic thing, down the street from the Athenaeum, there's this adorable little cemetery. And he and Sarah used to hang out at night there. And because, you know, they had all the lights from the city. It's gorgeous at night.
Yeah, I'm sure. Look at this view.
And they would walk. And that's actually where he proposed to her. So that's where we're going to do our little spirit box session to see if he comes through. And then we're also going to go to try to find Sarah's grave. I don't know if we'll be able to find it because I haven't been in a long time. I know the cemetery. But we're going to try to take you there as well.
And possibly have a great interview lined up.
Yeah, if we get a chance, we're gonna try to put that in as well. So, what do you say?
I say let's do this.
Let's do this. State Capitol. Or Biltmore. Providence. So this, guys, is where I used to stand outside the Athenaeum every time I did my Providence Ghost Tour, and this is where I would quote Edgar Allan Poe, his poetry.
Cool building.
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Amazing, guys. So we found the little alcove. I see the Edgar Allan Poe books right around here. And there they are. I'm going to see if I can find the one that I had found originally. Amazing. It's the light that was flickering, but it's out now. So I'm not sure if this was the exact letter that I originally found, but I'll read you a little bit of this one because this one kind of shows us as well. It was a job that he was going to take. He says, you know, the situation is agreeable to me for many reasons, but alas, it appears to me nothing can now give me pleasure or the slightest gratification. Excuse me, my dear sir, if in this letter you find much incoherency. My feelings at this moment are pitiable indeed. I am suffering under depression of spirit such as I have never felt before. I have struggled in vain against the influence of their melancholy. You will believe me when I say that I am still miserable in spite of the great improvement in my circumstances. So, you know, I do think this was the one. So, yeah, it kind of gives us a little bit of insight. So this would be like the alcove is where he and Sarah would hang out. Look how beautiful. Just discuss their works. Amazing, right? So cool. Beautiful, beautiful. Yes, amazing. All these houses. This is where he hung out. This historical, we got cobblestone roads. Yes,
right,
Deb,
Cobble
you can
Hill.
you can speak. But it's pretty cool. It's just so historic. It's amazing. So here we are.
This is it?
Cemetery's down here. Yep. It is down here. Look at the view of the State House.
Oh, yeah.
You can see why they would come here at night. The view is absolutely amazing. It really is. And there's cemetery and the church. And this is where Poe proposed to Sarah with that gorgeous background of the city. Some of these stones are really, really old. That one. Walk over, we'll find a spot to do our spirit box session. Be quiet, a little bit of traffic noise, but not too much. Look, Sue, there's a McVicar.
I saw it.
McVicar.
Just trying to read Lucy. Lucy Chavez. What about here's a good spot? Good.
Yeah. Someone just said hi, guys, but I just turned on. Hi, who is this we're speaking with? Is this Sarah? We're going to go to your grave as well. Hi. Hi, Edgar. Is that you? This is the little... This is the radio I was telling you about. Can you say hi?
Who's the famous poet that proposed to his girlfriend here? What was his name?
Good responses. What was, if this is you, Edgar, what was your favorite poem or short story that you wrote? I like The Raven. That's my favorite. We just came from the Athenaeum, where you and Sarah used to hang out together. I'm really sorry that things didn't work out for you anymore.
Are we together now? Or is it this person?
Yeah. Would have been such a nice union. Of course, the loud music goes by when Edgar's trying to speak, right? I'm going to give you a few more minutes so I can listen back. Is there anything else you'd like to tell us?
What was his last name? Can you give us a name?
Can you just say Poe? That would be amazing. You have to speak really fast. I'm going to give you a couple more minutes. And we'll listen back. I'm sorry you had such a rough life. But you're famous now. That makes you feel better. I mean, I'm sure you're fine now. Is there anything you'd like to get out to the world? Anything you'd like to say? Because we can put it out there. I know you suffered from depression. Now they have medication for that.
You can speak through this device, or you can walk up to this and speak right next to that red light. Big cross against the tree.
Wow. Crazy. Love that tree as well.
It's very old. That's
Yeah.
probably it.
Yeah, I'm sure that was still here, Edgar. That tree here, I'm sorry you should walk through. All right, thank you guys for coming through. I'm going to listen back, okay?
Thank you.
So I think I heard Edgar, because Sue said who was the famous poet that proposed. We don't know if it's him, but I thought I heard someone say Edgar. I'm just going to play it for you guys. You tell me what you think.
Who's the famous poet that proposed to his girlfriend here? I mean, I can see.
You guys decide.
You think it says that.
You guys decide. Okay, so I had said, Sue had said, no, I said, I think that would have been such a good union. We're talking about him and Sarah. We're sorry it didn't work out. And you can hear love. It almost sounds like an echo. I'm going to play that for you guys. It would have been such a nice union. And there's Roger, up on the hill. That's where we were before. Okay guys, so this is the corner I was telling you about. When I used to do my Providence ghost tour, had my hand up like this, and there's a big orb sitting on my hand, so I'm going to show you guys that picture. But this is H.P. Lovecraft's house right over here. So you can see the little orb in my hand at the intersection. How cool is that? Oh, North Burial Ground, 1700. All right, guys, so we found Sarah. We're at the North Burial Ground. This is a very, very old cemetery. It's huge. It's also in the middle of the city, as you can hear the sirens probably. But here's Sarah Helen Whitman. That would be her. And we're going to try a little spirit box. We're going to do it without the ANC Mini just to see if we get some clearer responses. Glitch, guys. Much better.
There we go.
Is anyone here with us? We would like to speak with Sarah. I think you came through at the other cemetery, Sarah.
I don't mean to disturb you. Just wondered if you could speak to us. Hi, sir. We're looking to speak to Sarah.
Sarah Helen Whitman, are you here? Can we speak with you? Say hi. We're doing an episode on Edgar. We wanted to include you. We're just wondering, can you tell us why it just didn't work out with you guys? What happened?
Ooh.
That was really clear.
Very clear. See, I like it much better this way.
Yeah.
Edgar Allan Poe, are you here? That side of the screen? Did you follow us on the other side of the screen? Can you say your name? Edgar, can you say your name?
What happened to Mr. Poe? How did he die? Same voice coming through.
Yeah.
Let me give you guys a couple more minutes. I'm going to listen back, okay? Oh, look, someone left her roses. They're all dried up.
Oh, nice.
That was nice. Aww. One of your fans? One of your fans, Sarah.
Woman's voice.
All right.
Could you say Edgar Allan's last name for us? Can you name one of his poems? What was your favorite?
That was clear.
So guys, we are recording so we can listen back. Maybe catch some of these responses.
Yeah, we'll play them for you guys.
I like Telltale Heart.
I like the Raven.
Same woman. Never heard that one. Sound like you said.
Heard that. All right, we're going to hang up now, guys. Listen back.
Thank you for speaking to us.
So I said, Sarah, we want to talk to you too. We're doing an episode on Edgar, and you hear my book. You guys want to listen?
Yeah, mail comes through. Sounds like my book.
So you guys let us know what you think on that one. What we think that's what it says. So this one's pretty clear. This guy does not want to talk to us. He's like, why don't you stop?
I don't think that's what it says, but
I'm Giacomo.
I don't know if he said that, but
Are you filming?
get that in there. I don't think that's what he said.
Cut. All right, so this is a woman. I don't know if she's talking about Sarah or she's referring to us when the guy told us to stop, but she said she's a nice girl. She's a nice girl. So Sue had said, what happened to Mr. Poe? And, like Sue just said, I've been so worried about him. And all of a sudden the guy goes, I'm fine.
What happened to Mr. Poe? What happened to Mr. Poe?
It's cool if that was
Yeah,
his
it
voice.
really does sound like I'm fine.
That'd be so cool.
Oh. Sometimes when they're talking, we don't know whether they're answering us or talking to each other. But in this conversation, it's definitely a man and a woman. And he says, hold hands.
Yeah.
And then she responds with something you can't make out.
Yeah.
But you tell us. Yeah, pretty cool. So during this next playback, we're talking, we're getting something over the spirit box, but then you actually hear a male voice say, spirit box. Now, I'm not sure who's coming through in that, but they know what this device is, and they clearly stated it was a spirit box. So check this out, guys.
I almost feel he said, I like your spirit box, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure. All right, ready, guys?
How did he die? How did he die? I like the spirit box. Yeah.
It's like you can hear in the beginning, I like your spirit box.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
it's,
no.
like that's kind of how it goes.
They, it's a great way for them to speak to us, guys. And as long as you explain things, they're not going to hurt them.
Right.
It's pretty cool. He likes our spirit box.
I'm so happy. So we're listening back, and at the end of the session, they were telling me it's enough, you need to go. And then I heard my name, hey, Dad, play that. Crazy. I'm just going to send the rest of it. Sue and Carl at Maplecroft. He gave her a beautiful raven feather. The interview was mysteriously lost, but he did a great interview. He does a whole event on Edgar Allan Poe. He even has a song that he wrote, so maybe someday we can redo that interview. Carl Johnson. So here we are, back in Maplecroft. Elizabeth's beautiful carved mantle. Yeah, it says what? At home in my own country. Wasn't that like her favorite hymn?
It was.
Yeah. We're hearing noises, of course, which we do when we're here because Elizabeth is here with us and she moves about.
It's at home in my own country. Yeah, it kind of means to feel at home in one's own country. And that's really how this house was for her, like a sanctuary where she felt safe.
Yeah. So we had quite the ride on Edgar Allan Poe. That was
a fun
pretty
episode,
cool.
I think.
It was really fun. The cemetery was intense, that spirit box session at Sarah's cemetery. You know, we all got affected by it. I ended up with a headache. Sue was feeling sick. Xavier wasn't feeling right. Because all of a sudden, when we listened back, we got so many clear responses. And they were saying, leave, shut that off. There was a young guy, clear as day. Hi, Dad. Like your spirit box.
Like your spirit box.
I love that.
That was different.
That was really clear. So we were surrounded by spirit at that moment.
Yeah.
And it was intense. It was almost like we were getting too close. So they were telling us to stop because it was intense, you know. But that was crazy, and the Athenaeum was gorgeous.
Yeah,
Absolutely
I love
gorgeous.
that place. That was
Oh my
great.
God, we got to go back there.
Could spend all day.
I know. And I talked a lot about my Providence Ghost Tour. Courtney, who owns the Providence Ghost Tour, if you guys all need to go take that tour. It is amazing and magical. She does such a good job. I want to have her on sometime, and we'll do like a little episode with her, and she can talk about her ghost tour and all of her great stories.
She was telling me the stories walking around, and
it's
pretty
fun.
cool history.
Yeah, it's amazing. And then just seeing where he proposed to Sarah was just absolutely really cool.
Yeah.
So all in all, I mean, I feel like it was a good episode.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're back here at Maplecroft. We do have some good episodes coming up for you guys as well. Watch for us on TikTok. If you have TikTok, we are going to be on
follow
there.
us on TikTok.
Yeah.
If you ever wanted to see Maplecroft and maybe a little ghost hunting in between, follow us, guys. This house is for sale. We're going to show it off.
Yeah.
Because who knows what the future of it holds, you know?
Right. And this is it, you know, and check it out.
Check it out while you can.
Check out TikTok because we'll be on there a lot. So
yep.
Spread the word. We want to get as many viewers as we can on our channel and on our TikTok as well, so we can keep doing this for you guys because we love doing this. It's so much fun.
If you just look up Lizzie Borden, you'll see our videos start to come up.
Yeah. Yep. So it just wouldn't be fitting unless I read the Raven to you guys, or at least part of it, before we close. This is my favorite. I'll just read the last part of it. And the raven never flitting, still is sitting, on the pallid bust of Pallas just above my chamber door. And his eyes have all the seeming of a demon's that is dreaming, and the lamplight o'er him streaming throws his shadow on the floor. And my soul from out that shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted nevermore. Always makes me sad, and then I think of Poe and I think about what happened to him.
He was a very tragic guy.
He was. His whole life, I feel like he was so talented. He was an amazing writer. But I think he struggled his whole life, and you just feel so bad for him,
Yeah,
I
like
really
many
do.
artists, I mean, he didn't really become famous until after he died.
passed. Right, exactly. So watch for us on TikTok.
And of course, follow us on YouTube, guys.
Follow us on YouTube. Make sure you get all your friends as well. We appreciate it so much. But, we love you guys. Be sure to share the love. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.